In the Nebbi district of northwestern Uganda, 90% of the population is rural. Despite being very hard-working, the practice of subsistence farming with low-yielding varieties of crops and livestock, together with a reliance on traditional knowledge alone, has typically meant that the farmers here experience low food production and low incomes. Gorta has been supporting a livelihoods and income security project to enable the farming community here to add value to their primary crop, cassava, before bringing it to the market. We took our camera into the communal plot of the Mungulonyo group to watch a new process in action. Having received some new training and the investment of some simple machinery, this group of farmers is now processing its cassava before selling it for a much higher price at the market, thus enabling them to work their way out of the poverty trap. Cassava is a particularly important crop in many sub-Saharan African countries, because it does well even on poor soils with low rainfall. The edible, starchy, tuberous root is a staple source of carbohydrates. Traditionally, these cassava roots would have been brought directly to the market to fetch a low price for the farmers. Today, however, the Mungulonyo farming group will process this cassava into a foodstuff called gari through a combination of peeling, washing, grating, drying, and roasting. In the Nebbi district, two types of cassava are grown, bitter and sweet. By processing cassava into gari, even the bitter varieties can be eaten within a day of being pulled from the ground. This is incredibly important for food security as well as income security, because during the rainy season, food is in short supply, and the sun and heat are not available for the traditional fermenting process. Therefore, households can be in danger of going hungry. Before having this machine, the group used to use a heavy stone to try to squeeze the moisture from the cassava. A job that used to take at least 2 days can now be completed within an hour. The fire oven is indoors, so that it can be used even during the wet season to process cassava. While the fire is stoked, the food is needed in final preparation for roasting. A roasting tray is placed on top of the fire. A little palm oil can be used to preserve the finished product and to extend its shelf life. The cassava is then roasted in batches to a very light brown with constant stirring for about 20 minutes. As the final part of the process, the product is sieved to obtain granules of uniform size. Larger particles of gari that are separated may be sold as a cheaper grade. Today, however, for the first batch at least, the farmers can't resist tasting the fruits of their work. The kids love it too. Shortly it will be back to work to roast the other batches. All the gari produced will then be packed in airtight and moisture-proof bags. This farming community can now enjoy greater financial security through the adoption of their new food production process.